Hi students, I am your English teacher Veena Sharma. Hope you all will be fine. I am again here with a new lesson from the book Footprints Without Feet. This is the fourth chapter in your book. The name of the chapter is A Question of Trust, written by Victor Canning. Before we start the chapter, first of all, I am going to introduce you about the chapter. This story is about a thief who gets a taste of his own deeds. Horace Danby, he is the main character of our story, is a thief. He steals only once in a year. He is fond of books and spends most of his time on buying books. Also, he plans accurately before attempting any burglary. During his burglary attempt at a big house, he studied well before entering the house for stealing from the safe. A lady thief cheated on him, who claims herself to be the owner of the house. Finally, Horace ends up in a prison only to regret the way that a man should not trust anyone, particularly from his own profession. Now we'll start the chapter. Everyone thought that Horace Danby was a good, honest citizen. He was about 15 years old and unmarried, and he lived with a housekeeper who worried about his health. In fact, he was usually very well and happy except for the attacks of hay fever in summer. Hay fever means a kind of allergy. He made locks and was successful enough at his business to have 2 helpers. Yes, Horace Danby was good and respectable, but not completely honest. 15 years ago, Horace had served his first and only sentence. Sentence means punishment in a prison library. He loved rare, expensive books, so he robbed a safe every year. Each year he planned carefully just what he would do, stole enough to last for 12 months, and secretly bought the books he loved through an agent. So, in short, Horace Danby was a 50 years old man, was unmarried and lived with his housekeeper. The housekeeper was always worried about his health. Although he was fit and fine, but used to have hay fever attacks in summer. He used to make locks and earned a profit that was enough for him to hire 2 helpers for his work. Everybody used to think that he was a good and honest citizen, but nobody knew that he had gone to jail about 15 years ago and served a punishment in the prison library. He got his love for uncommon, rare means uncommon, and expensive, expensive means costly, costly books from there. Every year he used to steal money that would last him for a year, and with the rest of the money he used to buy books through a secret agent. Now, walking in the bright July sunshine, he felt sure that this year's robbery was going to be as successful as all the others. For 2 weeks, he had been studying the house at Shotover Grange. Shotover Grange, it is a building in the countryside, means village side. Looking at its room, its electrical wiring, its paths, and its garden. This afternoon, the 2 servants who remained in the Grange while the family was in London and had gone to the movies. Horace saw them go and he felt happy in spite of a little tickle. Tickle means light sensation, gudgudi, of hay fever in his nose. He came out from behind the garden wall, his tools carefully packed in a bag on his back. So this year, during the summer of July, he was sure that he would steal as easily without getting caught as he used to do every other summer. He studied the house for over 2 weeks, studied the smallest details such as electrical wiring, paths, and garden area. That specific day on which he was going to rob the house, the servant who were supposed to stay back on the days when family went to London, the servants, they went out for a movie. Horace saw them leaving and was very happy instead of being worried about the tickle in his nose due to hay fever. He then left with a bag that had its tools. So there were about 15,000 pounds worth of jewels in the grand safe. What is safe? Safe is a strong metal box with a lock. If he sold them one by one, he expected to get at least 5,000, enough to make him happy for another year. There were 3 very interesting books. So according to Horace, there were about 15,000 pounds worth of jewels in the grand safe. He thought that even if he sold them one by one, he would get at least 5,000 pounds that would keep him happy for 1 year more. And he also thought that the 3 books that were coming up in the autumn, and thought that now he would have the money needed to buy those books. He had seen the housekeeper hang the key to the kitchen door on a hook outside. He put on a pair of gloves, took the key, and opened the door. He was always careful not to leave any fingerprints. He saw the housekeepers of the Grange hang the keys on the hook outside the kitchen door. He took the key with a glove on his hands so as not to leave any fingerprints. He opened the door of the Grange and used to be very careful about the fingerprints. A small dog was lying in the kitchen. It stirred, made a noise, and moved its tail in a friendly way. He then saw a small dog sleeping in the kitchen. He was lying in the kitchen, and when he entered the kitchen, when Horace entered the kitchen, the dog, it moved, made a little bit noise, and then moved its tail in a friendly way. "All right, Sherry," Horace said as he passed. "All you had to do to keep dogs quiet was to call them by their right names and show them love." Horace then said, "All right, Sherry," which was the name of the dog. He knew that the trick to keep dogs quiet was to call them by their names and show them a bit of love. The safe was in a drawing room, behind a rather poor painting. Horace wondered for a moment whether he should collect pictures instead of books, but they took up too much room in a small house. Books were better. The safe of the Grange was in a drawing room, and it was hidden behind a painting. Looking at the painting, for a moment he thought he should collect paintings rather than books. But then thought came to his mind that it would be better to collect books in a small house, because pictures required large space and books require a small space. There was a great bowl. Bowl means flower pot of flowers on the table, and Horace felt his nose tickle. He gave a little sneeze and then put down his bag. He carefully arranged his tools. He had 4 hours before the servants returned. Then, as he moved forward, he saw a flower pot of flowers on the table. His nose was tickling due to hay fever and a small smell of flowers. He arranged his tools and saw that he had about 4 hours until the housekeepers returned. Now the safe was not going to be hard to open. After all, he had lived with locks and safes all his life. The burglar alarm was poorly built. He went into the hall to cut its wire. He came back and sneezed loudly as the smell of the flowers came to him again. Now the safe would not have been difficult to open as it had lived. He used to open safes and locks all throughout all his life, and the burglar system of the house was not a good one. He went into the hall to cut the wires of the burglar system. He again sneezed loudly as the smell of the flowers came to him again. How foolish people are when they own valuable things. Own means they have. Now he thought rich people are foolish enough when they have valuable things. Horace thought. A magazine article had described this house, giving a plan of all the rooms and a picture of the room. The writer had even mentioned that the painting hid a safe. But Horace found that the flowers were hindering means obstructing, broken up him in his work. He covered his face in his handkerchief. Now, he recalled that the whole plan of the house was given in the magazine, including all the information about the safe also. He saw that the smell of the flowers were constantly making him sneeze loudly and it obstructing his work. So he put a handkerchief on his face and continued with his work. Then he heard a voice say from the doorway, "What is it? A cold or hay fever?" Before he could think, Horace said hay fever and found himself sneezing again. See, he is sneezing. Then he heard a voice. Then somebody from the doorway. Doorway means the entrance. What is it? Then somebody from the doorway asked him that was it a cold or was it a hay fever? And Horace quickly replied, hay fever, and sneezed again. The voice went on, you can cure it with a special treatment, if you find out just what plant gives you the disease. I think you would better see a doctor if you were serious about your work. I heard you from the top of the house just now. Now the other person then continued and told him that he could cure it provided he knew which flower caused the allergy, and he should see a doctor if he wanted to be a good thief. Then the other person said that his sneezing could be heard from the top floor of the house. Now it was a quiet, kindly voice, but one with firmness, strong voice. A woman was standing in the doorway. A lady was standing at the entrance of the door, and Sherry was rubbing against her. And the dog, it started rubbing her feet. She was young, quite pretty, and was dressed in red. She walked to the fireplace and straightened. Straightened means made straight the ornaments there. Ornaments means decorations. The decoration placed on the fireplace, she straightened those decorations. Down, Sherry, she said. Anyone would think I had been away for a month. She smiled at Horace and went on. However, I came back just in time, though I didn't expect to meet a burglar. Burglar is the person who breaks into the house. Now, she ordered the dog to stay away and said that people might be thinking that she was away for a month. But she was back in time and she didn't expect a burglar to welcome her back at her house. Horace had some hope. Now Horace was a bit hopeful. She seemed to be amused at meeting him because the lady, she was surprised to see a burglar. She was not afraid to see a burglar in the house. He might avoid trouble if he treated her the right way. He replied, I didn't expect to meet one of the family. Now Horace thought that if he treated her well and didn't do anything wrong, then she might let him go. And then he also told her that he also didn't expect to meet a family member either, as he had thought that there was no one at home. She nodded. Nodded means shook head. I see. What an inconvenience. Inconvenience means discomfort. It is for you to meet me. What are you going to do? Horace said, my first thought was to run. Then she said that she realized that it was discomfort that she was to him and asked him that what would he do now. He replied that at first he wanted to run away. Of course, you could do that, but I would telephone the police and tell them all about you. They would get you at once. Now the lady said he could do so, but she would call the police and let them know that he was robbing her house and they would catch him. Horace said, I would of course cut the telephone wires first, and then he hesitated. Hesitated means reluctant. A smile on his face. I would make sure that you could do nothing for some time. A few hours would be enough. Now Horace replied that he would obviously cut the telephone wires first if she tried to telephone the police, and then he would do something to her so that she was not able to do anything for a few hours. She looked at him seriously. You would hurt me? Now she asked him if he would hurt her. Horace paused and then said, I think I was trying to frighten you when I said that. Now Horace replied that he was just saying that to frighten her. To that, lady replied, you didn't frighten me. Horace suggested, it would be nice if you would forget you ever saw me. Let me go. The voice was suddenly sharp. Why should I? You were going to rob me? You are going to loot me? If I let you go, you will rob someone else. Now the lady said that if she allowed her to go, then he would go and rob someone else. She said that society needed to be protected from people like him. Society must be protected from men like you. Now Horace smiled. I am not a man who threatens society. I steal only from those who have a lot of money. I steal for a very good reason, and I hate the thought of prison. Now he smiled and said that he was not going to threat the society, as he stole only from those people who had a lot of money. I steal for a good reason, and the purpose of his theft is to buy books. Good reason, and that good reason was that Horace was a book lover. He loved books. And I hate the thought of prison. He now added that he hated the thought of going to prison. She laughed and begged, thinking that he had persuaded her. Look, I have no right to ask you for anything, but I am desperate. Let me go, and I promise never to do this kind of thing again. I really mean it." She laughed and he begged. Now the lady laughed and he was begging. Horace was begging not to call the police, and he thought that he had convinced her. "Look, I have no right to ask you for anything." Now he was desperately asking the woman not to go to police and that he was surely stop robbing. "Look, I have no right to ask you for anything, but I am desperate. I am hopeless. Let me go. I promise never to do this kind of thing again. I really mean it." She was silent, watching him closely. Then she said, "You are really afraid of going to prison, aren't you?" Now the lady asked him that he was really afraid of going to the prison. She came over to him, shaking her head. "I have always liked the wrong kind of people." She shook her head and said that she always liked the wrong kind of people. This is an indication for Horace that she was also a thief, but he did not pick the clue. Now he could come to know that the lady herself was a thief. It was a clue for him when she said that she liked wrong kind of people, but Horace could not pick that clue. She picked up a silver box from the table and took a cigarette from it. Horace, eager to please her and seeing that she might help him, took off his gloves and gave her his cigarette lighter. Now he took off his gloves, and the lady, she picked up a silver box. The woman picked up a cigarette box made of silver and took out a cigarette. Horace thought that if he pleased her, if he made happy her, then she might help him. So he quickly removed his gloves. See, he is removing his gloves. He removed his gloves and gave her his cigarette lighter. "You will see, you will let me go." He held the lighter towards her. Then he asked her, would she let him go, and pointed the lighter towards her cigarette. She replied, "Yes, but only if you will do something for me. Anything you say." Before we left for London, the lady said that before going to London, "I promised my husband to take my jewels to our bank, but I left them here in the safe. I want to wear them to a party tonight, so I came down to get them, but..." Now the lady said before going to London, she had promised her husband that she would put all the jewelry in the bank, but left in the safe at the Grange. She had to go to the party now, but had forgotten. But Horace smiled. "You have forgotten the numbers to open?" Now Horace replied, "But you forgot the numbers to open the safe, haven't you?" "Yes," replied the young lady. "Just leave it to me. You will have them within an hour, but I'll have to break your safe." Horace said that he would do it, but he would have to break the locker, to which she replied that he need not to worry. "Don't worry about that. My husband won't be here for a month, and I'll have the safe mended by that time." Mended means repaired. Now she replied that he need not to worry, as her husband won't return in a month's time, and it would be a sufficient time to get the safe repaired. And within an hour, Horace had opened the safe, given her the jewels, and gone happily. Now Horace broke open the safe within an hour, gave her the jewels, and left happily, thinking that he was safe now. For 2 days, he kept his promise to the kind young lady. Now he had promised that he would not rob any house again For 2 days he kept his promise. On the morning of the third day, however, he thought of the books he wanted and he knew he would have to look for another safe. But he never got the chance to begin his plan. By noon, a policeman came. See in the picture, by noon, a policeman had arrested him for the jewel robbery at Shotover Grange. Now, for 2 days, he kept his promise to the lady that he won't steal. But on the third day, he thought about the books that he wanted to buy and started thinking that he would have to look for another locker to steal from. He couldn't even get the time to plan the next robbery because he was arrested. How he was arrested, that we will see in this slide. His fingerprints, for he had opened the safe without gloves. Fingerprints were there on the safe. Fingerprints were there on the cigarette lighter. His fingerprints, for he had opened the safe without gloves, were all over the room, and no one believed him when he said that the wife of the owner of the house had asked him to open the safe for her. The wife herself, a grey-haired, sharp-tongued woman of 60, said that the story was nonsense. Now, when he was arrested, no one believed him when he said that the owner's wife had asked him to open the safe. The actual wife of the owner was an old woman. The real wife of owner was an old woman who was 60 years old and a sharp-tongued woman. And she said that the story was nonsense because she had never met Horace before. Not to think of asking him to break open the safe. She said that she could not think to ask him to break open the safe. This means that the young woman who had asked Horace to open the safe had pretended to be the owner's wife and she was a thief. Then Horace is now the assistant librarian. See, he is sitting in the library in a prison. He often thinks of the charming, clever young lady who was in the same profession as he was and who tricked him. Tricked him means cheated him. He gets very angry when anyone talks about honor among thieves. Honor means respect. Then Horace became the assistant librarian at the jail and thought about the woman. Who, being from the same profession, means who was thief, who herself was a thief, cheated him and got him caught. He felt really angry when someone talked about honor among thieves. So I hope the chapter is clear to all of you. Thank you.